Hello dear Anti-Imperialist Front TV viewers, this is the news program covering the period of 29th of November to the 30th of December 2022. Appeal hearing of 11 revolutionaries imprisoned in Greece took place in Athens at the Koridallos Prison. Hearings took place on the 1st and the 12th of December, and some of the prisoners testified against the accusations and demanded that this sentence was not handed down fairly and this trial was a political trial. The defense lawyers argued procedural improprieties and demanded that the hearings to be recorded because that in the first instance proceedings, the detainees were convicted with altered wordings added to the written minutes. This was denied by the court panel. Lawyers representing the 11 revolutionaries and the detainees once again pressed on the non-existent and unreasonable evidence against them. 11 revolutionaries are on hunger strike since 7th of October for fair trial, and their health is deteriorating as days pass. Despite this, the hearing has been postponed to the 10th, 12th and the 30th of January. At the both hearings, court panel refused to temporarily suspend the sentence of the prisoners until the appeal hearing is concluded. On the 5th of December, Anti-Imperialist Front called for a day of action to highlight the case of the 11 with Twitter storm account. Hundreds took part in this action and sent tweets to Greek officials to demand justice for the 11 with 3D11 hashtags. Press conference was also held at the Athens Bar Association by the lawyers and the Solidarity Committee for Political Prisoners in Turkey and Kurdistan on the 7th of December to highlight the injustice, and they pointed out the contradictions in the indictment, attempting to deconstruct allegations of the police witness for the prosecution. Also, an event was held at Crete on the 9th of December to highlight the case of the 11 and people to embrace the plight for justice.
Biz direnerek kazanacağız dedik, bu mahkemede zaferi direnerek kazanacağımızı söyledik ve direnerek kazanacağız. Mahkeme ne kadar sürerse sürsün, sonucu belirleyen direniş olacak. Şu anda da zaten belirleyici olan direniştir. Mahkemenin şu anki tavrını belirleyen de direnişimizdir. Ve sonucu da direnişle alacağız. Biz bundan kesinlikle eminiz. Ve sonuna, sonsuza, sonuncumuza kadar direneceğiz. Zafere kadar direneceğiz.
A march has been organized in Berlin against the 129A and B laws. Hundreds of people gathered in Berlin on 27th of November to protest the draconian laws and demanded the abolishment of them. Anti-Imperialist Front also took part in the march and stood in solidarity with revolutionary journalist Gülmen, Grup Yorum member İhsan Cibelik, and activist Serkan Küpeli, who were arrested in December 2022 under 129 laws. These fascist laws are used against revolutionaries in Germany and deprive people from their right to assemble and organize. They must be abolished. A Roma child was shot by police in Greece on 5th of December after he was chased. Kostas Frigolis was allegedly refused to pay 20 euros of gasoline, and he was shot by the police after the chase in Thessaloniki. He has died in hospital whilst he was receiving treatment on the 13th of December. Roma community and their supporters have said that the boy was a victim of long-standing bigotry. Koridallos brothers are not in fascist Kiev regime's prison anymore. Long-standing campaign earned their freedom and they are under house arrest now. Koridallos brothers were arrested and tortured because of their communist ideology. Ozturk is continuously harassed, although she is under house arrest in Turkey. On the 526th day of the house arrest, Ozturk made a statement and condemned the continuous harassment of the security services. Ozturk stated that the probation office constantly claimed that the electronic tag on her ankle was not working, that they frequently harassed her, and that the security forces were pursuing other agendas despite the fact that she is under house arrest and under constant surveillance. A day of mobilization with Alfredo Cospito. On 20th of October, anarchist prisoner Alfredo Cospito began a hunger strike against the 41 bis prison regime in Italy. a struggle he intends to continue until the end. The 41 bis is the harshest prison isolation regime in Europe, created in the beginning to prevent real alleged members of the mafia from continuing their activities from a prison. It was soon extended to revolutionary prisoners to prevent them from interacting with the world outside. Secours Rouge Internationale, International Red Aid, declared 17th of December an International Day of Support for the hunger strike of Alfredo Cospito, Ivanko Alocco and Anna Beniamino. Nuriye Gülmen's 10 years of imprisonment approved. On 3rd of December, Nuriye Gülmen's sentence was approved by the Court of Appeal. The file will now go to Court of Cassation. Nuriye Gülmen resisted in the dark days of the state of emergency. With this sentence, they are trying to make her pay for her resistance. Nuriye's answer before her arrest was as follows. We know that fighting against fascism is not child's play. We are not a handful of people without roots, without tradition, disconnected from the people. Our roots are in the Anatolian soil. Our knowledge is based on the wisdom of the people. I have to say that such attacks will be meaningless to us. Beyond Bars, Free Mumia Now event held on 10th of December. Free Mumia Abu Jamal campaign in UK held an event to celebrate the life of Mumia Abu Jamal as a writer, intellectual and an anti-imperialist. Representatives of the Anti-Imperialist Front, along with Todd Burrows, Committee for Justice, Joanna Fernandez, Cecil Gatsmo, Selma James, Muriel Fanon Mendes from France, Jamal Jr., Lynn Washington and Julia Wright spoke at the international conference to celebrate Mumia's intellectual and political activism, who has been held in prison for over 40 years. Fascism in Turkey attacked the members and the families of Political Prisoners Association TAYAD. Dawn raids took place on the morning of 12th of December at 6 different cities in Turkey against TAYAD, Solidarity Association of Families of Prisoners and Detainees members. Members of TAYAD, mothers and fathers of political prisoners, despite their ill health, has been detained with torture. Their only crime is to defend their sons and daughters, sending them money, caring for them and defending their rights and freedoms. Total of 13 people were detained and some of them has been referred to court for their arrests. And 6 of them has been arrested and remanded in prison. Another coup in Latin America. On 8th of December, CONFIEP, Employees Bourgeois Union, military, police, capitalist media, US Embassy and multinational mining companies orchestrated a coup through their agents in Congress, removed an ex-union member and teacher Castillo from the president position. The system of imperialism and oligarchy cannot be changed through elections. The Peruvian people took to the streets against this coup. Many people were injured and arrested. 6 people killed during the protests. Alexis is commemorated. On 6th of December, meetings and demonstrations were held to mark the 14th anniversary of the murder of Alexis Grigoropoulos, a 15-year-old anarchist killed by the police Korkeneas. Large demonstrations were organized all over Greece in memory of Alexis. At the beginning of the demonstration in Athens, which was attended by 20,000 people, the police attacked the crowd gathered in Exarchia neighborhood. Clashes took place in the streets. The same morning, a gathering was organized in Mesoligu and Savella Street in Exarchia in front of the monument for Alexis and Berkin Elvan. Imperial powers are turning the tide against Serbia now. Confrontational behavior of the NATO-backed authorities towards Serbians in the occupied Kosovo region of Serbia escalated again. Serbia represents an obstacle to the control over the region for both USA and the EU, and in the past, it also posed resistance to the neoliberal policies imposed by the West. Serbia is the only country in the region that continues to maintain the policy of neutrality, meaning a friendly relationship with Russia, China, and as of recently, Iran. The latest developments in Kosovo is only a push in the direction of securing imperialist interests in the region. As a result, Kosovo have now applied to the EU for a full membership. We must stand with the people of Serbia against imperialist aggression. You have watched the Anti-Imperialist Front TV news program. Until the next program, wherever you are, raise the struggle against fascism and imperialism. Those who resist will win. Goodbye and stay in solidarity.